I come from a background that's so far away from any of this. I mean, I used to be an event planner, and my life was about decorating halls, making them look beautiful, making wedding events. So in 2013, when I had the abduction experience and I was presented to children that were shown as mine, the emotional connection and the recognition with those children was so powerful that I just couldn't go back to my regular life. I mean, there was no way that I could ignore the fact that someone was telling me that I had children and I could recognize, feel love, and feel connected to them.
And were you pregnant in that you were aware of, and then had miscarriages?
That's right. So basically over the course, so during that time I was introduced to the children, and it wasn't until 2017 that I got a regression to kind of recap what had happened. And I found out that I had been a lifelong abductee since the age of 5 years old, where I've had multiple contact experiences. And then my life started to make sense. I started to piece together the times where I was pregnant, even when I did not have a partner, and then had miscarriages or the fetus was missing. And my gynecologist, my doctor, could not understand how to explain that to me, other than to tell me that it was stress or, that it was just hormones.
Well, that was the case for many women, because they
That's
would be
right.
pregnant, and then 4 months later there would be a miscarriage, and the doctor would say, "Oh, but it just disappeared." Like,
That's right. Yeah.
there's just nothing there anymore.
Right. And then so now after I'm coming out, so I mean, you start to realize that there's really something important here, because this was a really emotional journey for me. I mean, I used to get pregnant even when I wasn't partnered, and the doctor would say, okay, it's hormones. But then when I got pregnant and I was in a long-term relationship where I was hoping to have a family, it became an emotional roller coaster. I would get pregnant, we would get excited, and then after 3 months, it would be nothing. The fetus would not even be there, and it would just take me through depression and confusion, and you just don't know. I mean, you would never think to link this with ET contact.
No.
And obviously your doctor's not going to say, oh, maybe it's ET contact.
Right. And basically what you and a bunch of other women are
Yes.
saying is that when you're abducted, there's they almost perform like a C-section, but without having a
Yes.
C-section.
And it's not even like really a C-section. I mean, they're actually going into the uterus and pulling out the embryo. And
Because it's still so
gestate.
small.
Exactly. And so the insemination, it's a process. It's an insemination, it's the gestation process and the retrieval, right? But before that, there are other contact experiences that are they're putting implants in the body and technology, because this is a really complex issue. I have 24 hybrid children with 4 different programs.
And
okay?
who's fertilizing your eggs? Someone's
Right.
coming in and...
Well, it depends on how they choose to do it, I guess, on their agenda or how you want to classify it. I've been a part of some of these extraterrestrial groups, and you'll see in the film very vividly something that looks like reptilians, literally these beings that are like that.
They're scary looking.
It is really interesting. I mean, it's really, for the first time, it's quite intimidating. It's terrifying, really. But when you go through the insemination process, it can either be insemination mechanically done, like on craft, or they will screen image someone to come in and create an insemination scenario where there's
some hot guy, they'll
intercourse.
use some camouflage of a hot guy to have
That's
sex
correct.
with you.
That's correct. And they pull all that information from your subconscious mind. So they'll show you whatever is appealing to you at that time. And so the purpose is that there is this interaction happening. And all of this is happening for chemical reaction, because even at the moment of, the insemination process, like at the moment where women and men are having the intercourse, there's an energetic exchange that's really powerful that creates a vibrational imprint
Right.
into the zygote, which then is going to gestate in a couple weeks. And so the longest term will be 3 months, where they then take the embryo out. And what I've kind of understood at this point is that they probably speed up the process also of the gestation process, because I haven't seen longer than 3 months. In the movie, you'll see Sierra Niblina, for example, who is lesbian.
Right.
And so she's never had contact with a man. And she was pregnant for, I don't know how many months. Was
About
she
3 months.
About 3 months, and the baby was missing. So, this is, and so the thing is, well, what's happening? What's happening to the women? What are we experiencing?
Have you
Who
figured
are
out why
serving?
they're doing this yet? Are they trying to populate the Earth with hybrids, or are they taking them up off planet and
There's
Right.
theories on that, and our third
Right.
film's actually going to be, we're going to explore the different paradigms of what people think. But again, there is an agenda. And one thing I should mention, and piggybacking off of what you're telling this incredible story, but see, that's just it. We heard dozens and dozens of these stories, and then we started to research, and we realized there were hundreds and thousands of people who were telling pretty much the same story.